Hello, and welcome to the W.A.I.T channel. What Am I Thinking? A podcast where two sisters share uplifting conversations on fun and sometimes serious topics.
Join us each week by clicking the notification bell and subscribing to our channel. If you enjoy the show, use the share link. It's one of the best ways to expand the conversation.
Welcome to the W.A.I.T channel. What am I thinking? Well, today we are thinking about the Real Housewives of Potomac. So, between the live shows and the shows at the Comedy Store, and that's what Karen and Robin and Giselle, they were kind of competing on who could do the best show, and now they are gearing up for this trip.
Oh, don't forget is it the Muppet or Sesame Street character? Eyebrows.
What's that?
Ashley's friend.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Goodness gracious.
No words.
So let's start there. So thank goodness for production. And I don't know if Chris Bassett has a way to thank them, but if it were not for the cameras, he would have been unnecessarily dragged.
Absolutely.
And made guilty of something.
Him and Eddie.
And Eddie, too, was pulled into it and again. And
for what?
Thank you.
For what?
Well, we know for what. Because someone had a husband that was very guilty of doing inappropriate things, and now you want to take this opportunity to try to do that to someone else's husband.
So
that's
what do they
the
call it?
only thing.
Kismet, karma, whatever you want to call it. Ashley needs to be very, very careful.
She needs to be very careful. And it's like even the things that she was trying to say he did, they weren't even egregious things.
No.
If he had even done those things.
Leaning
looking,
the elbow
smiling, and we see on the thing, she was being more engaging to him.
Very much so.
Than he was
and
to her.
It was quite hilarious, comical, how as she's trying to engage and talk to him, his eyes are on his phone.
Yes.
Whatever he was doing on his phone.
Yes.
Still trying to be polite and answer her questions. It was just, for me, watching that and production, I give you a plus.
Yes.
Somebody needs to get a bonus.
Yes.
Because, like Tracy said, had we not seen the footage, Chris would have had no way of actually
defending himself.
None.
Their word against his. And
Giselle,
the woman has to be believed.
I just wish it was something with that Giselle. Is there a camera in the hallway? Do we not know? Is there a security camera someplace that we don't know about?
But the thing they showed that is the most telling is when they are out there on the stage and she's trying to talk to Chris, and Chris is like, I will talk to you later. So there was
an agreement
to
that
have
there was going to be a conversation.
So the fact that when this conversation happens, you're a grown woman. I don't care where he tells you to go. Once you realize your makeup people were not in the room, you could have said, hey, let's talk in the hallway. Or even right then. But you said leave the door open, and he did that. So where did he do something wrong?
And with Giselle, and someone pointed this out, that from the very beginning, has she ever really had a real, genuine, true storyline? I don't know that she has. Now, she's been very busy in other people's lives, stirring up drama, false drama, creating her own relationships that may not be relationships. It's like we can go on and on with her. So the very fact that she's still on the show, as Candiace calls her neck, and Robin, which some of the bloggers call her Rob and her roommate. I just think at this point, it's just time for them to go.
Well, the thing is, I'm disappointed in Robin this season. I have always been, I could care less related to Giselle, and I tolerated whatever she brought. But Robin normally tried. I understood even in her venom that she had when Ashley was coming for Juan and her relationship and trying to put her, I even gave her a little pass for that, and I think she had a little thing with Monique. But for the most part, she tried to, and she started out staying above the fray this evening, being fair and not just co-signing Giselle with the Chris stuff. But she kind of lost me somewhere along the way, and I'm just really disappointed.
It also hurt their anger towards Wendy.
Yes. And they were wrong in the way they went about questioning Wendy for her plastic surgery. And they were wrong in the way they went about that. It was more Giselle than Robin, but Robin was listening to conversations and, weighing in a way. So if you can admit that you were wrong, the way Wendy came after you may have been a little bit aggressive, may have been a little bit below the belt, but justifiably so when you were coming after her the way you did.
Wendy did not, she didn't just read them. She wrote a book.
Her and Candiace can do it.
They can do it.
She
didn't do it until she was repeatedly questioned for who she is,
right, what
she does.
Right.
It's like it never stopped. And I think she just said, okay, enough is enough.
Right. She went for it. As
Candiace
say, she went for the white meat.
Yes, she did.
She cut to the white meat. And so, because they can't admit that they were wrong, they feel as if what she did was just like totally out of line. Well, I don't agree with that. But she was trying to even turn the page herself. They are the ones, and I think they were doing that thing that sort of, if you go way back to Real Housewives of New York, how Jill Zarin was trying to do with Bethany, trying to block her out, trying to feel like I can get if all of us come over here, we can make her a non-factor. Well, no, that didn't work out for you. You became the one.
She became the one, right.
And that's what they're finding for themselves, because the public isn't, as much as they may want to root for the Green Eye Bandits or whatever reasonably shady, they're not a fan of the way you guys are moving this season. So don't be the Lisa Rinnas of Potomac and go way too far where you can't come back from it.
Is this because, a lot of the bloggers are pointing the finger at colorism?
We talked about that.
And whether or not, it just, when you look at who they are targeting, I don't want to say that it's colorism totally. They are the two smart girls.
They are the two brown smart girls.
Yes.
And when I look at Ashley's little friend, I'm going back to checking the box of the same way. What's the one that got into it with Wendy? Mia. The way Mia, he was looking at me. You think because you look a certain way that it's just a given that this person wants you and this person, that's what that is about. I can say this because it's most likely true.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's their thought process.
That's their thought process.
Yeah.
Because you're checking this, this box of feeling like I got it going on in that way and I look this certain way, so I know.
But it's also, when you think of what the title for her friend group is, pretty young thing or something to that
Whether
effect.
It's pretty young, pretty little, it's to me pretty petty.
Yeah.
It's pretty petty is what it is to me.
But and the way that the internet has gone in for that girl. I don't feel sorry for her.
No.
Because whether she was vying for a spot on the show, friend of, or whatever, it has backfired big time. And even though she is posting that she's going to be vindicated, unless, because production's been doing really, really good.
They have.
Unless they got a picture of you all in the parking lot in a car or something, it's not too much that they can show that's going to vindicate.
No.
Yeah.
No. And like I said, the fact that she even wanted to pull Eddie into it as well. And it's like, girl.
Yeah. Not Team Ashley anymore. Ashley is being... It's like you got enough on your plate, girl.
You do. Deal with your divorce.
So we have digressed. Moving forward, what do you think is coming up with these women after their shows and I don't know what?
Right. Well, by the time this airs, they will be on their trip, and we know the trip is going to be a trip.
It's gonna go
We have gotten some clips, and so we know that there's going to be a lot of Karen and Charisse are going to have their moment. We know Mia and Jacqueline have their moment. Not sure about Candiace and Ashley or any of that stuff, but I want to say I'm hoping Candiace and Wendy can have a strong alliance to be able to withstand whatever is coming their way. And I don't want to see the divide on this trip the way we saw it on the Miami trip, because that was not cute.
Let me ask you a question, because this kind of remains on topic. And do you think Charisse is acting out the way that she is with Karen? We know she desperately wants back on the show. But do you think she's purposely targeting her, or does she really have unresolved issues that she's trying to get to the heart of?
I think Karen is making it be worse than it has to be, because I think Charisse really wanted to mend things. So Charisse feels a sort of kind of like she got the short end of the stick, because that was her friend group. The same way if you look at Married to Medicine with the one who was the producer on that show.
Right. Mariah.
Right. And so I think she feels the same way. Like, this was my thing, and now I'm not even barely a part of it.
Because I think she was the one that put everything together for the show.
I want to believe so.
Yeah.
She was that. That's why Giselle and Robin want to say she's the real Grand Dame, because Karen did not have all the connections to them the way Charisse did.
Right.
But the thing that she's miscalculating is how strong, and I don't even want to say influential, but kind of, that Karen has become. And Karen ain't gonna back down. Karen has not forgiven her for the blue eyes comment. But I want to say that Karen threw her under the bus talking about a firefighter or something. And I don't think her little divorce stuff was where it, you know what I mean? So
but when they did that, that was tit for tat. It really was.
Okay.
When they did that.
But then it happened. So she did hers, you did yours.
So would you agree, though, that because the way she keeps going in for Karen said people change, friendships change.
I agree.
You move forward. I still feel like Charisse is trying to force something. You can't force someone to be your friend or to let you in or to listen to you. And I think that if she wants back on the show, what I'm seeing, I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I think what she wants is for Karen to give her a moment to be able to, even if they don't become bosom buddies, to at least acknowledge and say, I'm mad at you because, or we're not good friends anymore because. And so Charisse could have a moment to be able to sort of either defend it or apologize. That's what she wants. Karen is not even willing to give her
Yeah.
that. And that's the rub.
Yeah.
That's the rub. But, you know, that's Karen's right. She gets to do that.
Right.
And we'll see if the blow up is worth the wait. So, thank you guys for listening to our update on Real Housewives of Potomac. I know that there's a lot more stuff gonna be happening on that trip, and so in a couple weeks we will check back in and we will chat some more and tell you what we are thinking on the W.A.I.T channel about the Real Housewives of Potomac and so much more.